No, this isn't Bellatores. In fact, the footage here is actually of Throne and Liberty, and the reason why is because the update that we've got is not exactly the one that we would expect. After all, Throne and Liberty has put out release trailers and release footage, whereas Bellatores has not, although their most recent update has provided onlookers with a little bit more to digest. But that being said, what is the update, you may ask? Sadly, this update in development isn't as groundbreaking as a reveal trailer, but it is the introduction of a new website for the MMO. With the small introductory cutscene aside, the website has been fully translated into both English and Korean. My assumption on this being that it will be likely used for media updates, which will certainly help in distributing information on the game. The website itself, however, is pretty bare in terms of what some would consider actual content for the moment, but we are given updates in its lore and setting. Following the game's lore and the death of the former king, the land has split into the noble houses, presumed to be the factions in this realm versus realm setting. Whilst it can't be assumed that any of these won't be an NPC faction, it is a good inclination towards multi-realm, which appears to be the intended crux for this game. We were also provided a reveal in regards to combat, which is shown on each panel, and some sort of combat in the background to justify the statement they put forward. Whilst these sections in the background are choreographed, the developers have given us a glimpse into their premise, that being that players are incentivized to be adaptable via multiple situations, and that player versus player or realm versus realm will likely include elements that players can use to their advantage. We also get the first hints at some potential PvE elements for the game, which are suggested in the form of large creatures that will cause havoc and disasters in the natural world unless they are dealt with. This will likely provide players with a much needed distraction, or to force players to choose between all-out war against each other or protecting their own regions against this threat. Our most tangible updates from the developers, however, come in the form of their own media page, which has included a number of snapshots of their progress so far. These in-game images provide a nice, pleasing aesthetic in terms of the various environments that are shown to be on offer, and does do credit in regards to providing us with at least an initial glimpse into what the graphics of the game might be. Naturally, footage of the game would have been better in servicing any of these concerns, but I would argue that it's the position that something is better than nothing in this case. And whilst the majority of these in-game images have been landscaping or atmospheric, the last few images that we have hold the best updates so far. Firstly, we have an image that shows the UI interface alongside what I can assume to be the first general view of the UI layout, general atmosphere, and inventory system that we'll see for Bellatores. It appears that players will likely have a 6-slot ability system to work with, using Q and E and 1 to 4 on the keyboard. This suggests a faster, almost MOBA style of gameplay setup, which will interact nicely with a faster paced PvP environment. Alongside this, we have the basic introductory of an inventory system, showing that players will have access to larger slots with bags, and irrelevant crafting tools for potential professions that we'll likely see announced further down the line. The second image of note is that of the skill system, and how at present, the skills appear to be gained via using the weapons associated with that skill, and it also provides a linear progression with what increases with each level, and likely shows any skills gained from that level of proficiency. Finally, the last two images of today show an interesting element of a parliament system, which we can only assume that players access by being part of a guild who owns a node in the game world. What these node systems may offer could be similar to that of a system from Black Desert Online, but the menu shows what we can only assume to be the nodes in nearby areas and their ownership, alongside those potentially of the same region and further beyond. The UI elements overall are very sleek in my opinion, but hopefully we get to see them in action shortly with some footage which also shows their interactions in the game, etc. For an upcoming MMO, however, this update can be considered slightly lacking in information, but it has provided us at least some interesting little nuggets of information, from the snapshots of combat, the stills of the game world, and some tidbits into the skills and potential systems at play. Much like my previous video from last year, Bellatores still has an uncomfortable lack of information which may put people off following the game for now. But hopefully with the new website in play, Bellatores will be putting out more frequent information, and this is with the additional benefit that Western audiences will be able to also cash in on this new information, given that the website is in both Korean and English, meaning that we should see relative updates at the same time. But are you looking forward to Bellatores? Are you interested in the grand realm versus realm combat MMO on offer, or are you stumped by the limited information so far? Let me know in the comments down below. This has been Revelry. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more MMORPG related content, and until next time, take care.